laughing because we both have our glasses on because we have to read the questions today from everybody.
Because we're old fucks.
No. Yeah. So happy anniversary, everybody.
Happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary.
No.
1 year.
I mean,
Keri and I have been married 1 year.
We've been married 1 year. What the hell's happened to our lives? I'm really not quite sure. But I actually am happy that we are filming this with both of us in the woods, people.
It is in the woods. My woods right over there right now is snowing.
That's a hot dang mess, people. That's all I have to say. So, happy anniversary edition. What are we doing? We're answering all of our fan questions.
Yes.
Did I say that right? I don't think I said that right.
Yeah, well, that's it. Because we wanted to once again thank all of you for tuning in every week and listening to our, what are they, Keri?
Shenanigans.
Well, I thought, you know what, Keri, listen. Because when it's somebody's anniversary, you buy them cards, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't have, since I'm in quarantine still, things, how it hasn't changed in 1 year for me. So these are, I things, people need to know things about me, but I love cards.
Yes.
Keri loves cards.
You love them more than me. I can't wait for you to see all of your birthday cards that I'm sending, which you probably won't even get until you get back from your next trip.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you, U.S. Canadian Postal Services.
Yeah, rude people.
So I figured that I wanted to share a few, I'm going to call them happy birthday cards, but they're anniversary cards, but they're happy. Okay. These are for you, Keri, okay? Because I love you, I heart you so much, and you are my bestie, but...
Love. Yeah.
Happy fucking birthday.
Mm-hmm. Love it.
My favorite card ever.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love that one. I love that one.
And because we are both foodies.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's right. That is so true, girl. That's so true.
You are the mac to my cheese.
Yep.
And today, you are queen for a day.
And so are you. Two
queens. I got 3 more. You're gonna have to. I thought that was very fitting.
I think so. Mm-hmm. Cheers. Oh, this is cheers.
And the last 2 are, you have to decide which one is you and which one is me.
Oh, I love that one. I don't know. I feel like it could be interchangeable.
I think you're the one with the star.
With the star?
That looks like you have your nose pressed up a little bit more on the window. And the last one is...
Oh, I know. And I miss doing it in person. You're killing me.
So happy anniversary from me.
Happy anniversary. I love you. That's amazing.
Yeah. That was just my little surprise for you.
But I love it. That's an awesome surprise. Now I feel like an asshole because I don't have a surprise for you.
You mailed them already. They were my birthday cards, and I'll get them next April.
Yeah.
It happens every Christmas. My mom mails me a birthday card, a Christmas card, or a present, and it's like, it comes in February.
And you're like, why?
Why, Lord? Mm-hmm. So, I know. These are a lot, people. I'm just going to say, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for submitting them and for your interest in us.
Yeah, and watching the show and being fans for this whole time, and you all keep us going, because some days we're like, I'm over it.
Can we tell them that the last like 2-3 weeks have just been beyond?
You know what? I feel like that's been for everybody.
Yeah.
It's been a hot dang mess, people. But here we are, having some laughs, spreading some joy. Questions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shall we start? You want to start?
Go.
Okay.
You asking me?
Emma Berggren, and please forgive us just right now. I just want to say sorry if we got it all wrong. So
Yeah.
she sent us about 40 million questions.
Love her. Thank you,
Mhm.
Emma.
And she right now is in Los Angeles. And I think you're in a young artist program there, or you're a young artist. And so you had a lot of questions about young artist programs. Both of us have been in young artist programs. So, Keri, she's wondering if you could talk more about your experience at young artist programs or similar at the beginning of your career. Like, what was your weekly schedule like as a young singer? How much music do you learn? How much free time do you have? I mean,
I just remember I was worked to the bone, but I was also the only mezzo of the program. It was the first year of the program. So no one really knew what was happening or what was going on. You had 100 different voice lessons with different people. Everybody was telling you 5,000 different things. Um, it's insane, a young artist program. All the ones that I did, all the good and the bad. I think you really learn how to take care of yourself, how to take care of your voice, how to say no.
hmm,
Um, those were years where I knew what my limit was as far as how tired I could be and still perform and do a great job because I was so extremely taxed and overworked.
hmm,
I also think that you need to have the best people around you, maybe not necessarily there,
mhm.
that are giving you really great advice you can bounce ideas off of, that also support you and love you, and also can give you tough love.
Very important. Tough love is so important, isn't it?
So, but you need that support group, and that can just, even if it's just one person,
Because
because
if you only listen to the good advice, you're not going to learn. You got to listen to the bad, the good comments. You also have to listen to the bad comments, and you learn from making mistakes.
I just remember there was a lot of negativity. I don't remember why I'm remembering this way, but it was a lot of negativity, and I really needed to find the positivity somewhere. So if that's what's going on in that program, you need to find your people.
Yeah, I mean that I would have the exact same advice.
Really?
It's Yeah, and listen, we're young. They're called young artist program because you're young, and oftentimes you're just thrown into these programs not having really done anything like it before.
Right.
And I always say that phrase, sink or swim, but you have to create your own program inside of that program, your
Yes.
own agenda, your own goals. If you just go into a program blindly and like a sheep follow what they say, listen, they're going to take advantage of every bit of your time and every bit of your energy, right?
Yes.
So you, like Keri said, no.
Learn how to say no. Also, take advantage of every human being that walks through that opera house. So,
Mhm.
whatever conductor, director, singer, be brave, be bold. Go ask them, can I take you for coffee? Can I pick your brain at break? 10 minutes tops. I
Yeah,
just really love to talk to you about whatever you want to talk about. And
grow
um,
a set.
pardon?
Grow a set.
Yep, because most people want to talk about themselves. So
Not us, of course.
not us. Yeah. Okay. Anyway. Oh,
She wanted to know also, um, if you were asked to sing something that you weren't ready to sing, how did you deal with that? And that's a tough one. I
said,
mean, you know,
if you're not ready to sing it, you're going to trash your voice. So the answer is no, because if they ask you to do it, you know you can't do it, or you're not ready to do it, and you do it, you're going to end up in trouble. And then they're not going to want to offer you anything else. So you have to protect yourself. That's my opinion.
and communicate. I think that is what I learned the most in the Metropolitan Opera Young Artist Program was, you know what, they can't read your mind. You have to tell them. You have to learn to communicate. You have to learn to verbalize what you're thinking and feeling. And if you try to sing a role and I always give something 3 tries. If you try it once, twice, 3 times, and you say, you know what, this doesn't feel right,
Mhm.
I'm just not ready for it, blah, blah, blah. Verbalize it. Tell them what you're feeling, tell them what you're thinking. Because you know what? Ultimately, it's your career, not theirs.
Ding, 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 ding.
Mic drop. Shall we move on?
Wait,
Hmm.
I think this is important. Did you ever meet any people in programs who had children?
Mm,
Not when I was in the program. But I know that there are people in programs now with kids. And I do know many men and women that are the singers that have children that they figure it out and they make it work.
Yeah, Nathan Gunn, when I was in the Young Artist program, he now has a whole brood of kids, but he had a few in the program, and he has a supportive wife who's a pianist, and I think that's the only way to do it, is to have somebody that's really walking this journey with you, and able to be there and as a sounding board when you come home, because it's really hard when you come home sitting, if you're alone, and you have all these emotions and these thoughts and these feelings, and if you don't have somebody to sound them off of, you're just going to go gossip with somebody in the program, and that's not necessarily healthy, which is another question that you asked. How do you deal with gossip in this business? And all of that stuff, people talking trash about you and all of that. And I mean, how do you deal with it, Keri?
Um, I'm just going to be very blunt. And my dad used to tell me all the time that everybody has an opinion, like everybody has an asshole. And you decide, you have to know you.
Mm-hmm.
You have to know what's true and what's not. And you have to have those people that are your sounding boards, like what she's talking about. I don't necessarily think it has to be a partner or a wife or a husband or whatever. I
Anybody.
think it just needs to be someone you trust with everything, that you can bounce things off of, so that you're not out there contributing to this toxic environment that is not helpful for anyone.
Nope.
And I learned early on, and I still have to remind myself to this day, that the blinders are here, that I'm not comparing myself to anyone else, that what I'm doing is working my hiney off to sound the best that I can, that my body is ready and able to do whatever any director asks me to do. And that's all I can do.
Bingo. And you know what else? I mean, in this business, it's hard enough.
So
It's
hard.
hard enough what we do. And I always was attracted to people that lifted me up. And I mean, I try in this business as well to lift people up and support them, because our business is so close knit and there's not so many of us. And quite frankly, if you're talking about someone, they're probably talking about you too. So remember that. That was my grandma who said that. So your dad, my grandma.
I think those are two hashtags. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. What else, Keri?
Oh, this is interesting about costumes that you're not comfortable to wear, or nudity, or staging that affects your ability to sing. This
Okay,
is all, to my opinion, what you just said. It all boils down to communication.
Mhm.
I think that for me, there was always a line. I wasn't going to cross a line no matter what. Um, I don't know if it ever hindered me from getting a job. I don't really care, because what I've done so far, I'm so happy with what I have done. Does that make sense?
You're true to yourself.
I'm true to myself. I think you have to do that too. Yes, it's competitive, but I think that you have to have a way to communicate that says, I'm not comfortable.
Yep. Yeah, and you know what? In the end of the day, you go home with yourself, and if you're not happy with what you did, it's going to fester and it's going to show in your voice. Because our voice, we're very emotional with what we
Yeah.
do, and if you're not happy, or if you're crying, whatever, you're going to feel it in your voice. So you know what? That's what I think, more than anything, young artist programs should actually have psychiatrists available.
Hallelujah.
Oh,
Hmm.
anything else? Oh, the friend, this Emma also said that they told her that the Met Opera is so big that you basically hear the orchestra behind the beat, and therefore always need to look at the conductor.
That's you. You answer that, girl. I don't know.
Not true.
Okay.
Not true. No, some of the best acoustics, in my opinion, are at the Metropolitan Opera. I mean, it's a barn. It's massive. And if you're singing upstage on Amsterdam Avenue, yeah, you might need to look at the conductor, but the acoustics are great. And as long as you have monitors on stage pointing at you, and you have to learn that, I mean, you can't sing a performance staring at the conductor, as Butterfly or whatever, or as Jane Seymour. You can't have a love scene with Henry staring at the conductor.
Hmm.
Yeah, you got to figure it out.
Got to
And
figure it
that's
out.
a place to figure it out, right?
Yep.
Could you talk a little bit more about your voice journey and how you gained access to all of the resonance, and that's oof, one sip in resonance, and that you have now?
I thought you talk more about resonance than I do.
Oh, you want me to talk about resonance? Well, I got a big head. I just gonna throw that out. Like I got a lot of space, and as my husband would say, a lot of empty space. But that's not no. My journey was kind of like Keri's in that I started as a mezzo, and you're going to be surprised at how many people actually do start as mezzos because the female voice takes time to develop and to figure out how all those high notes work and how your voice works.
Mhm.
Um, I was lucky in that I had really great people um, teaching me, but I asked questions along the way. And I didn't just listen to what they said and took it as the God's truth. I asked questions. I don't understand. What do you mean by that? That doesn't feel good. That doesn't feel right. And I think being a bit vocal, like I'm sure Keri would agree, she's probably done the same thing. No, that doesn't feel right. I
Right.
remember one lesson, my old voice teacher, Ruth Falcon, was teaching me how to access chest voice. And I came out of that lesson with no speaking voice. And I had a coaching with Tony Manoli, my coach, afterwards. And I was like, Tony, I don't get what she's doing. And he said, why didn't you say that it hurt?
Ding, 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 ding.
So she's not going to know, or your voice teacher's not going to know if it hurts or if it's not right if you don't say something. So, boy, that seems like a theme, doesn't it?
Right? I know. Yeah, you got to speak up.
I'm sorry, Emma, but you know what?
Yeah, you're the only one that's going to do it. So,
Learn to speak up, and especially now. I mean, we're in 2021. We have lived through a pandemic or are living through a pandemic.
mhm.
Find your voice. This is a time for you to find your voice, and we both support you in that journey. So it's not easy.
She asked something about able to tell how much you can push your voice or what you can do in case of sickness, etc. My response to that is know what your cords look like when they're healthy. Go in, especially if you have insurance, go in, have them strobe you so you have what your cords look like healthy and travel with that everywhere.
Oh,
So you know what your vascularity is, you know what kind of drugs you can take that aren't going to affect you vascularity wise. Um, how I know, I mean, you'll learn this when you're in rehearsals. You'll know this when you're with orchestra. If you overdid it, you're going to know when you walk off that stage after whatever you sang that you pushed too much or you overdid it in some way. You're going to know. So that's how I knew. And then that's how I knew what I was doing wrong or how to fix this or whatever. So I don't know if you
mhm.
would answer the same way, but
I agree completely. I've had so many people after my vocal surgery, before my vocal surgery. I've been very vocal about my vocal surgery,
yeah.
but I don't have perfectly clean chords, and any certain thing makes them flare up and get a bit swollen. And some doctors that don't know my chords would say, "Oh,"
You're in
but
trouble.
yeah, you're in trouble, and it's not the case, but that's because I know my chords, and everybody's chords are also know that the shape and the size of them as well, because if you know that you have thicker, longer chords, then you know what your voice can do and how it works,
Mhm.
as opposed to shorter, thin chords or shorter, fat chords. Thinner chords, are not as much of a dramatic voice. Thicker chords are more dramatic voices. So, if somebody tells you you're a dramatic soprano and you have thin chords, two and two doesn't equal four there, right? So, just saying. You asked, Keri, what do you travel with always? Like when you go on a trip, you pack what? Like knives and spice, other things. That depends if you're alone or if your husband is there with you.
No, I don't do the whole spice kit. I stopped doing the knives because it just became too much of a problem with security. So whatever. I think if you talk with any singer, we have all bought the same stuff in every town and left it in all the Airbnbs.
Humidifiers to, the
Humidifier,
spices.
all that stuff. clothes for rehearsal. I always kind of show up the first day dressed up because I kind of want to see what everybody else is doing. I also want to see the concept of the show. So if I know that the concept is going to be me on the floor and they don't normally clean that floor every day, I'm not wearing my best clothes to rehearsal. So
No. Plug, shameless plug for both of us, but I think Keri and I usually live in Lululemon.
yeah, I invested in several pieces of that I can, hang dry, stuff that dries really quickly, that I'm not dependent on a dryer on. And when they started making work pants, like pants for work that were travel wear, like any kind of travel wear that looks nice, that looks professional, is what I ended up buying. And it happened to be, Lululemon, or sometimes there's really great stuff at REI. So that's what I did. And I've had a lot of those clothes for a long time because they've lasted so long and they just travel really well and you can wad them up and you don't look like a wrinkled mess.
And they're all black.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I know I wear black. I can't help
Keri wears black a lot.
it.
But
Yep.
yeah, and traveling now is a lot different. I will advise singers. This is something that I only learned in the past few years. Make sure when you're going somewhere, especially if you're coming from North America to Europe or vice versa, and things aren't necessarily open when you get there,
Right.
make sure you have at least one snack or meal or something packed away, like a cup of noodles or ramen noodle. I mean, something easy, not or protein bars or something, just because oftentimes you get there and you go, oh, I didn't know that, January 18th was a holiday in Malta,
So
you know?
true.
And
So
also make sure you have enough of your medications because things aren't always the same country to country.
right.
And if there's a certain thing that you use that you're used to taking, make sure you have that in your bag of tricks too. I travel with what I call my bag of tricks, and that's my medications. If you get sick at 3 in the morning,
Right.
and you can't find an open pharmacy or apothec or whatever, just, have some things with you, but I'm not saying take a whole trunk.
No,
So,
actually I do. I carry a whole stinking pharmacy.
yep. Listen, I mean,
Mhm.
better living through chemistry. That's how Keri and I have gotten through quite a few shows that mm,
Because
we
some
weren't
things
sure.
you can't even get over wherever you are. They don't have the same brands. They don't have the same stuff. The other thing is on that carry-on, because that's where I carry that stuff, is one outfit and an extra pair of underwear.
Bingo. Yes, because how many times have we lost our suitcases?
Yep, a toothbrush, and like
That's,
because contacts or glasses, like an extra pair of something in case your suitcases are you just need something to get you through.
I love my Keri with her carry on. All right, so we're gonna go now to Claudia Kyle,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna ask Keri, what are your hobbies?
My big one, I never talk about it, I just have done it forever, is I'm a huge knitter. Huge. Love it. My first job overseas, my mom had just taught me the knit stitch. And so I was in Italy with all this gorgeous yarn. I had the longest knit stitch scarf because I didn't know how to stop it. I didn't know how to cast off. It's hilarious. I still have that thing. But I'm a huge knitter and I love it. It keeps me sane. And it keeps me from snacking at night because that's when I really love to snack and I'm not
Yeah, because her hands are occupied.
my hands are occupied. So I love it.
Okay, and what are your guilty pleasures? PG rated, Keri. PG rated.
Oh yeah, I'm glad you said that. Okay. Pleasures.
Well, I mean, you can say whatever you want to say. I know you love your husband a lot.
I do love my husband a lot, so he's kind of a guilty pleasure. But another one is off the top of my head right now because I've just really been craving some, but I really don't want to eat it because it makes me feel like crap. Is candy. I love candy. And another guilty pleasure. What you do too?
Keri likes candy. No, I don't. I actually don't like candy.
No, I like
I
sweet.
did as a kid. I like salty. I am more savory.
Yeah, and I like sweets. So sweets are a guilty pleasure for me, more so than I'd rather eat my calories than drink them. But I think you'd rather drink your calories than eat them.
Yep.
So that's a guilty pleasure for me. Yeah, right there.
My empty gin bottle. Thank you, Levin's Water. We just have to do a shameless plug. Thank you for providing this yummy, yummy gin um, to Keri and I in the past year, which Keri only got to try once I mailed it to her. Should we tell him how I mailed it?
No, because then they're going to come after you.
All right.
Oh, okay. What? Oh, and I also love to read. Huge reader. Huge reader.
Yeah, me
Okay.
too.
What about you? What are your hobbies?
Screaming divas. I have no time for hobbies. I mean, come on.
Hmm. Hmm.
What are my hobbies? I love gardening when I'm home. That is a later in life thing, and I've really enjoyed getting to learn how to cook.
Cool.
I love hiking. I
You.
do love
Yes.
hiking in the woods, and I know you do too. And
Uh,
guilty pleasure?
no, wait, 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 wait. You are a beast in the woods. You are will climb over, up, under, down, anything without any fear.
I'm a mountain goat. My grandma always called me.
I think that's true. So that's a really, yeah, that is your hobby. You love to do that.
I do. I have a good sense of balance too. And Carrie and I, when she was up, was that the last time that I saw you in person?
I can't even talk about that. Mm.
Oh, that was Rusalka. And we went for a hike here on the escarpment, and we
Fun.
went vertical like bonk.
I was fine going up, coming down. I was like, I hate you. I'm scared. Where's the slide?
It's just like, can I have a parachute, please? Yeah, so I love hiking. I love nature. Guilty pleasures. Mm, gin, gin, cheese. I really like cheese. And I'm really into Margaret Atwood's Handmaid's Tale. I'm very late to the party, but
You're really into that. I love that.
Margaret, we're coming for you. Just gonna say that. So, from Marina Papa, I aspire to be an actress, and I would like to know how important is personal branding. And I'm gonna throw that one over to you
Oh, great.
because, well, no, you do a lot of the social media stuff, and how important do you think personal branding is? Because we just talked with somebody about this.
Yeah, I think, I mean, if I was asking Andrew Owsley that of Unison Media, he would say extremely important to have a personal brand. But I, on the other hand, I agree with him, but my personal brand has to be very authentic and very real.
Thank
I
you.
think he would agree with that. Um, but mine has to be that. And so I think it's a personal choice of what kind of brand you want to market yourself as. But
Yeah, and how you want. I think the important thing to think of is how the people looking at it perceive you, and how you want to be perceived. Because listen, social media is what it is. It's not all real.
no,
Social media is not. Sorry, people to burst the bubble, but
no,
if you're an actress too, and if you're on television, it's not all real.
right.
They just capture what's in the frame of that picture because right outside of this lens could be a 4-lane highway and people don't know that, but
Mhm.
you know um
Okay.
and this is a tough one. How do we feel about not seeing so many women composers and conductors in the industry? Well, do we need
Brutal.
to say
Hmm.
what is it, Carrie?
Brutal. It's awful. I am hoping the tide is changing. I'm hoping there are more initiatives to have more females, also more initiatives to have, people, a diverse stage.
Yeah, we need listen. I think we all need to be represented in our business, not just women, not just men. We need to have as Carrie always says, a rainbow. She wants to see a rainbow.
I want to see a rainbow of colors, of sizes, of shapes, of everything. Um,
Ethnicities, women, men.
mm,
I don't care.
yeah.
I want to see people that do the best job,
Yep.
and people to be rewarded for doing the best job, not because of how they look, but because of what they do.
Yep.
End of story.
Yep. Okay. From Elise Fuentes. Hope I said that correctly. How do you deal with negative energy that surrounds you? For instance, when you're at a rehearsal and someone gossips that she's not good or she's a disaster.
We just answered that one now, did we not?
Yeah, we did. I mean,
Listen, if you're talking about them or if they're talking about you, they're talking about everyone else too. So
yeah.
it's up to you. I step away from it. I go to the other side of the room now because life is too short.
Mm.
That's why I came up to Carrie, because she made me laugh. And I thought, yes, please, more.
Yep. Um, and also, I mean, if you're a hot mess, people. If you're a disaster. If you're not good. So,
Hmm.
are you really a disaster? Are you really not good? I think you have to know thyself. So then those kind of comments or those kinds of things, just like you say, what do you say? Water off a duck.
Yep, but be a duck and let the water just wash right over you, you
Yeah,
know?
not worth it. Life's
Ducks
just
never
full of-
drown in water.
Yeah, it's not worth.
Goes right on.
Yeah, it's not worth it. Okay.
Okay, we need to talk about these two girls, Vivian and Odette Yanetta. I hope I said that right.
Okay.
They're from Canada and they're 15-year-old sisters, which is so cute. Hi.
Yay. Hmm.
They want to know if my Traviata from the COC will be rescheduled, and that is unfortunately no, because I'm 52 years old and it's going to be the geriatric Traviata. Could I do it? Yes. You know what? It didn't fit into my schedule, and now that I'm starting to sing Turandot and Joconda and things like that, Maria Callas said the voice is not an elevator, and I truly do believe that. You know, some things just the timing just is never right, and that was a role that really kind of got away from me so many times. So that, and also will we interview Joyce T. Donato? Um,
Ladies, we've been trying.
yeah, everyone. We have been trying. And,
Oh.
not just Joyce, there's a lot of people we've been trying, and this has been a difficult year.
Right.
And for some reason or another, a lot of people just are doing their own thing, and I get that. But Joyce, we would love to have you on the show because it would be a barrel of laughs.
Yes, it would. It would be very good times. But no, you're right. I mean, I think that there are people that it's hard, man. It's hard to be going what we're going through in this last year of not doing what we love. And some people don't really want to talk about it, and I get it. So,
No,
my,
it's okay. And not everybody likes doing interviews. I
exactly.
remember working with Dmitry Vorostovsky, and it was like he would just break out in hives from doing interviews. He just hated them. He hated them. So, not everybody is as open and vocal as Keri and I are. So,
There you go.
all right. Oh,
I'm gonna
Keri.
ask you this. Mhm.
Okay.
This is always you saying it. All right, you've teased us with the idea of a live stage version of Screaming Divas. Any ideas what that might look like?
Oh, this is Craig Lee.
Craig
We
Lee.
say. Um, yes, there are some concerts. A Bruin,
A Berlin, people.
Bruin, and
But we don't want to give away too much because
yeah, then you won't come. Yes. And it's not, I will give you one little hint, and that it won't just be me and Keri. Hmm. Right?
you'll have a good time.
You'll have a good time. Put it that way. Yeah.
Mhm.
So stay tuned, and I think it's going to be coming to a city close to all of you soon.
Ding, 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 ding,
We
ding,
will let you know.
ding.
Okay. What else? He also said it was, I'm going to ask you this one, Keri.
Okay.
Craig Lee said Screaming Divas was started as a response to the pandemic.
Mhm.
What direction do you see the show going as COVID-19 recedes and life returns to normal, whatever that is?
I have some ideas about what it could look like. I don't know if it would work, um, but I really love what has happened when we've been talking to some of these, especially the general directors or artistic directors, that I think we see another side of them through this platform. And I would really love to still continue to see the sides of the business that are not normally shown, especially even when a company does interviews or does promos. It's not always I like it a little bit more real, I guess. So I kind of want to get to the nitty gritty of things and talk.
There's always the backstory in the opera business. I mean, yes, we had the pandemic, and that gave us the luxury of time to be able to do this. But when we get back to doing what we do, there's still the backstory of everything,
which is so
and it's so fun, and the shenanigans, and it's that's not going to change,
mm-mm.
and people are still going to need to talk about what they're feeling and going through, because I don't honestly believe that our business is going to be right back to the way it was right away.
Right.
So people are still going to need to talk it out and
Yep.
hash out stuff. So listen, our door is always open, people.
Yep.
Just saying, and God knows, Keri and I like to talk.
Yes.
Now,
Hallelujah.
this is a good one. Craig said, I don't recall any video clips of your guests performing as part of your show. Have you ever considered showing them in action, especially artists that we may not be familiar with, like Scott Davies?
That's not a bad idea.
It's not a bad idea, but there's a lot of legal implications.
And red tape to jump through and all that kind of stuff. But that's actually a really good idea.
Okay, we'll look into that.
Yep.
Check noted.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Rapid.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Rapid fire questions for us. So,
Okay.
if you were transported back in time and found yourself on stage starring in the premiere of a Bellini, Donizetti, Verdi, or Puccini opera, which one would it be and why?
Is that for me?
Yep.
Well, that's pretty much a no-brainer.
Okay.
I think it would have to be Norma.
Ooh.
Yeah, because I would love to know exactly what voice type he wanted for that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I want to know, like, did he want more like my voice, like Maria Callas' voice, or did he want more of a Joan Sutherland, more dramatic coloratura with all the fireworks, or did he want a more dramatic voice? And
A good one.
I'd really like to ask him, What
Yeah.
about you, Keri?
I think I would have wanted to be around when Puccini was writing all that stuff, like Bohème, Manon Lescaut, those kinds of things. I think
Yeah,
that would have suited me really well.
I think so too. I think you're right. Okay, so then using the same time machine, which opera star from the past would you like to beam back as a guest on Screaming Divas?
Oh my God, like a million of them. Like the first one is, of course, Callas. I mean, Caballé. Are you kidding me? I want to talk to Caballé.
Absolutely. I mean, for sure, Callis. For sure. I would love to, man. She had a lot of stories. I'd love to hear some stories.
All right. Big stories.
Rapid fire with her would be fun.
Some of those big old tenors too, you know? I mean,
Birgit Nielsen, she would have been.
oh,
She would have been a hoot,
oh my
wouldn't she?
gosh. Yes. Uh-huh.
Oh, that would have been a lot of fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's just so many.
Yeah.
It just all those old-fashioned the Björling and
Yeah.
Caruso, and
Yeah.
I mean,
Mm,
how was it like being an opera singer back then? I'd love to pick their brains about that.
yeah.
You know, and those big old fat paychecks that they used to get. I just snarked. Okay.
Oh, I love this one. This is a great question.
You want to ask it?
Sure. Caballé and Freddie Mercury were an unlikely couple that made beautiful music together. Who could you imagine collaborating with on a crossover project?
Barbara Streisand, Josh Groban.
No,
That for me, Kelly Clarkson.
I'm going full on Pink. I want Pink. That girl can write a song, man.
Yes, Pink.
She can write a song. She can write lyrics. She is.
She can
I.
do the
I mean,
acrobatics, singing
oh my
upside down.
gosh, her, Lady Gaga, Cher, Madonna.
Yours
These,
are much better.
huh?
Yours are much better than mine.
No, I've actually thought about this. Like there are songs that I love of theirs that I'm like, okay, how can we orchestrate that? I want to orchestrate that and sing that as an opera singer because that is like some really great music, great message. Um, yeah, there's some I mean, oh my gosh, like Missy Elliott, can you imagine? Like I want that. I want let's mix it up with some rap and females and oh, I love it.
That's what I did once. I did Costa Diva with a rock band in New York at the Armory.
Mm.
It was it was pretty cool because it had like a beat to it, Costa Diva. It was cool.
I just want some collaboration people with some pretty hot artists out there that are like real musicians. That's yeah. Hmm.
We did write Kelly Clarkson. That was another one that we wrote, right?
Come on, Kelly, get it together.
All right. Oh, here we go. Ashley from Twitter.
Ashley, we love
We
you.
heart you, Ashley. Yeah, she's one of the first people that I met, like when social media all started and all of that. Ashley Emmerich. You have worked together on several productions. What's your favorite thing about working together? Keri. I know.
You want me to answer first? You go first. You go
Oh,
first.
you want me to go first? Okay, I have a serious answer and, and I have a Keri is an amazing singer. Keri is an amazing technician.
Mm.
And I love watching how her mind thinks when she's singing, but also how she is so committed because her technique is so good. She's so committed to acting. And yeah, it's the truth though. I love acting as well. And so being able to play off of that, because acting is double-sided, it's not just one person, it's acting and reacting. And Keri is such an amazing actress. And then the funny side of it is just that when we're done with rehearsals, we can go drink. I mean, and maybe go shopping.
And maybe go shopping a little bit. We don't ever admit that to our husbands. Okay. Mine is the same. But with something with you that I have admired and wanted to emulate for forever, because you bring every part of the A game, every part of it. So when I know I'm going to be on stage with you, I want to bring my A game as much as I can, because then it makes it where two females are able to play off of each other in a way that is exciting and the audience gets excited. And we know it by their reaction to what we've just done. And that's been some of the most thrilling experiences. And that's why it's like, what else can we do together? Because it's that much fun for me.
Yeah.
And then the thing about you that is my favorite is, and I don't know if you really feel this way, but it comes off this way on stage, is this fearlessness. I know exactly how hard it is what you're trying to sing, but when you're out there, I never see the fear. I don't see it. And even if you're feeling it, it doesn't come across that way. And it's like, she's going for it. She's doing it. And there she just did it. And that's amazing to me.
Yeah, I guess. Thank you. That's very sweet. Well, that all comes from a good technique, like I said with you too, and that you know that if you're going to try it, it's going to be good, and that your body and your technique enough that if you're not feeling well, you're not going to try that E flat. But if you are feeling it, even if you mess it up, you know how to cover it up.
Yes. My favorite moments though are on stage where we're walking around stage or we're coming around each other and you're like, was that okay? Was that this? Or I'm like, is that flat? And you're like, no, it's good. I'm like, okay.
You guys don't know this. Yeah, like the conversations that go on stage, and some of the best conversations were in Rusalka when I was mute for a whole act, and Keri and
Oh my God. No, I mean the first entrance of the Foreign Princess is brutal. You are just singing this crazy stuff in this, and you have to go up to the high C. And it was so funny because I knew if I looked at her before I sang the high C and went from window pane to window pane. On purpose, I did that. That the look on her face was like, if it was a good one that night, you were like, yeah.
Keri knew it. Keri knows that I can't hide too much, so it's kind of like.
Yeah, I was like, what are you doing? What's happening?
But yeah, our favorite, somebody else asked, and I'm just gonna, since we're on this topic, the favorite thing that you and I have done together. And I know we've talked about Rusalka, but quite frankly, I think the Anna Bolena won it like hands down, because that duet with Bolena and Jane Seymour is ridiculous. Like,
it's crazy. And you made me want to rip out my heart every dang time. I mean, I think the emotions on stage from both of us were so real and so intense and so, I mean, these two women, what they're going through is just absolutely horrendous. And it was so fun to do it with someone that you feel safe with, you trust, who's going to give you as much back as much as you're giving. And that's just joy, man, sheer joy.
Except when I spit on you.
and then I want to pee my pants laughing on stage. Yeah. Oh, or the best is during that show when my ankle is still so extremely busted and I'm wearing a 20-pound costume and it hurts so bad to get up from a raked stage. My ankle hurts so bad that sometimes it was like you would just grab me and help me get up.
But we made it look like I was grabbing you.
Yeah, we tried to make it like,
but I was like, okay, Keri, come on.
Yeah. Or if I needed you, it was like tug, gotta get up.
But the things people don't know, the things that we cover on stage and the cracking up and Keri, there's reasons sometimes why we do movements on stage or grab something or move because it's a difficult line or you need to feel into your back. Like Keri singing that one high C, you grabbing the doorway just so you could like feel.
I needed to feel something because I was trying to pianissimo that because you have like pianissimi notes for days, and I was like, I gotta throw one in there.
So Keri's like grabbing this door, like to feel, like support and everything. But you guys just see it as acting. But there's so many reasons why we do what we do on stage, other than acting, right?
Yeah.
Ashley, oh,
this is a good one. Okay, what is your favorite cocktail recipe?
Well, I have a feeling that you and I might have one that we really love, and that is Ina Garten's Cosmopolitan recipe. And we might have had those, and I think that the outcome of that interview was quite boozy.
with Susie Graham.
Oh dear.
Or the Christmas special. I think I had that on the Christmas special.
Totally. Did you have Manhattan too? Because we both like Manhattans too. Yeah. We like our bourbon.
Good bourbon.
Good bourbon, yeah. But yeah, we have Ina Garten, and maybe we'll put that at the somewhere here in the interview. Ina Garten's again because we love it so much. But a good Manhattan. That's why when you say talk about sweet, I like sweet in my drinks, but not necessarily in candy. And you like to eat it more than drink it. But
yeah, I don't like sweet drinks. Okay.
Pamela Parada. What's the hardest thing about being a professional singer? One thing?
All of
it. Missing holidays, missing birthdays, missing weddings, missing. Yeah. No, and yeah, it's just we can't have a real life in a way. Putting up Halloween decorations. I don't think I've done that ever in our house.
No, but when I can, it's like it's all out craziness, because it's so much fun. I think the hardest thing too is when people come to see your shows because my family, we're like, we got to get our passports now because we want to come travel and see you, is that you can't really do everything that they do either because you're still working and you still have to take care of your body and your voice. So I can't go out and be a tourist for 8 hours a day and then go sing a show that night. So you miss out on all those things too. But
so that would be guilt, is what we're both saying. Guilt for missing a lot of things. Where and when did the Screaming Divas meet? Well, we know that.
Washington, D.C., Anna Bolena. She was singing Anna. I was covering her. I was going to sing my first Anna right after that. So I wanted to come cover her. I choose to do that for those big honking roles. It helps me.
Absolutely. Yeah. You're just, you know what? Watching somebody else do it is great because you learn the ins and outs of it and what tricky things they have to deal with, especially if it's a singer that has a voice similar to yours. It's a great way of learning. Absolutely. And watching and saying, oh, look, they have a problem there too. I don't feel so bad.
That's a really good point because I have said no when I was looking for covers for certain roles. I've said no to some of them because I was like, no, I don't. Our voices are just too different. I can't sit in there for 5 weeks and listen to that. It'll drive me crazy.
Yeah, like Anna Bolena, if you had a lighter lyric soprano singing it, no, that would have been difficult, and I would have probably torn my hair out because it'd be like, no, that's not how I sing it, So that was what, 14 years ago? 12 years?
I don't know how long ago that was. I don't remember.
Google it, people.
Okay, Google. All right.
Uh-huh. Favorite opera house to perform in, Keri?
No, you do this. This is a good one. You have a favorite.
I do. I like the COC here. I
Mhm.
really do. And I love singing in Barcelona too.
Mhm. That was amazing opera house, Barcelona.
Acoustics great.
Hmm.
COC is like singing in a jewel box because the acoustics are perfect.
Hmm. I
You?
love this. No, I would agree with both of those, and I would agree, and I really love. I love singing at the Kennedy Center because it's home for me. There's something about there were so many wonderful memories on that stage that it's special to me. The other one is ENO. They have a really great acoustics there. It's like the most amazing. Um, I love the acoustics at ENO.
I guess we like to sing in good acoustics
Mhm.
because I like hearing my voice come back, and I know you do.
Yeah. So you
So
know those opera houses and you love those places. This is still from Pamela. When do you think that fully staged opera productions will resume in the United States?
wait, here's the magic 8 ball, and
Girl, we have no idea. We're hoping there's some stuff coming down the pike for summer that's going to be outside. There's even stuff happening here in Nashville with Nashville Opera out at the amphitheater. So we're hoping. I mean, it's going to be a condensed version, no intermission things, but I'll be on the front row of that.
the few intendants general managers that I've spoken to in the United States, are all hoping for this fall and are planning for this fall.
Yeah.
So you know what? I, my response to that would be get a vaccine, get vaccinated, and then we can all go and see opera,
Yep.
right?
Uh,
Hopefully.
hopefully. So summer/fall.
Yeah, I think that's what the numbers that I've been hearing from the dates are like July, August. They're all
Yeah.
really aiming for,
Yeah.
and I think that's realistic. I think.
Hope so.
Okay, so Yuta Eberts.
Okay.
You can we name some productions where we felt like everything came together and it was unforgettable?
Like I'm wondering if she's wondering, like asking ones that we've been in or ones that we've seen.
Well, how about you? One each.
Gosh.
Mm,
Oh God. I mean, I can't answer this question.
I know. I you know what I do. I have one,
Okay, go
and with me in it, and I also have one that I watched. The one that I watched was the Don Giovanni production in Los Angeles, and I don't know who the director was. I can't remember, but it
ahead.
was with Thomas Allen.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Anatamo Asinto.
Mhm.
I mean, it was just like this cast that was
Amazing.
unbelievable, and this production that was unbelievable. And I think it might have been one of the Alden brothers. And I still think about that production now. It was magic. And a production that I've been in, David McVicker's Roberto Devereux at the Met.
Oh, okay.
That and Suara Angelica in Los Angeles with William Friedkin.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, Placido Domingo still talks about that and cries when he talks about it. So,
Yeah. Oh God.
but you're right. It's hard to really point out. It's more like for me, performances, specific performances that everything, the stars aligned and all the singers were feeling amazing that day. And we all just went like,
Boom. Um,
right?
and that the Norma I did with Christopher Alden. It won all kinds of awards. That one was
Right.
just something about that production was amazing.
Right.
I loved his brothers, David Alden's Follow at the Met. Fell in love with that. And I know like so many people were like, wow. But I don't know, it just resonated with me. And I was like, I have to know this person. Um, I don't know. There's just so many that you just think that they're like special memories for you, whether you were sitting in the audience watching them or you were in it. It's oh sorry, David McVicker's Bohème.
Oh, yes.
Unbelievable. I love
That's
that. I would
David
go
too.
watch that Bohème any day. I got to sing in it and I loved it. So yeah.
Okay. From Daniel Patrick Canizzo.
Mhm.
How about a showcase Zoom concert of up and coming singers with no platforms right now?
Why not?
Why not? We can maybe add that to the Screaming Divas concerts that we talked about.
Oh, let's get some young singers up there and be like, hey, kick it out.
Stay tuned. All right. Oh, now we have a whole whack of questions.
Okay.
Monsi Planas.
That's really for you, I think. What would you ever write an autobiography?
Yes. And I'm going to call it Just Sing Stupid. I kid you not. I already
And
thought about it.
five is called Keri.
It's called Karaoke. Peace out.
Bye.
Just think stupid. Because you know what? We singers get so in our way. We get so in our head. We get so caught up. And I remember one time a voice teacher of mine just said, just sing, stupid. And I was
That's
like,
a very mean teacher.
very mean teacher. But you know what? This person was right. Just quit thinking about it. Just sing.
Just do it. Get out of your way and do it.
Yep. What is a dream you have that you've yet to achieve, Keri?
Mhm. There are some roles, there are some people, there are some stages that are on a bucket list. I hope they happen. It's okay if they don't, but I have a dream board of that.
Keri does. You have a vision board, don't you?
I've got my vision dream boards, and
Yeah.
they usually work out. So mhm, I'm curious.
Yeah. A dream that I've had yet to achieve. Boy, I,
I don't know, girl, you've done a lot.
I'm so fortunate. Um, no, to maybe run a young artist program as a teacher or be a teacher of a young artist program. That's still kind of back there brewing in my head. And yeah, and to sing Turandot. I mean, that was a role I always wanted to sing. So hopefully that happens very soon.
I hope so too. That would be amazing. I want to hear that
But
myself.
I mean, if nothing else, this last year has taught me how fortunate I am.
Yeah, that I mean, yeah. I know we both have said this. If we had to walk away from it now, we've had a great run, man. It's been our own paths have been we both have been happy with the paths that we've been
Mm,
on. So
absolutely. Favorite cocktail. We'd already said this because we like our gin tonics, but
we also like our Manhattans and we like Cosmos.
I at gardens.
Yep.
Do you plan on recording an album either separately or together, Keri?
That has never been on my dream board.
No,
But for you, you already have.
I have. I had one because of the pandemic canceled. A solo CD, and I have a CD coming out. Keeps getting pushed back. Of the Three Queens final scenes. It's in the bucket. It's recorded. It's been edited. Well, it's just coming out um, probably next year.
Cool.
From Chicago, the Three Queens. But one together, who knows? Maybe the Screaming Divas concerts will get recorded. Somebody, somebody call us. Somebody. I mean, Screaming Divas, Keri and I, that would be pretty hot. Don't you think, Keri?
It'd be fun.
Yeah. I mentioned that I mentioned I only hear the mistakes and not the beauty in performances, which is the truth. Do I remember a time when I didn't feel this way? Absolutely. And I still have, I mean, I shouldn't have said it that way. I still have performances that I just get carried away and transported that are magical, but it's hard. It's really hard to not become jaded and not hear just because of what we do. Keri and I are such perfectionists. I don't, she still hears beauty, I'm sure, but I just pick it apart and especially myself and just go, oh, it could have done that better, could have done that better. And it's hard. It's really hard because that's our job is to be the best at what we do. And that doesn't come from just allowing things to kind of slide by. So yeah, I still do hear beauty, just not as much. And last time I really remember hearing beauty and was when I was a young artist at the Met and hearing some of
Oh,
those performances. You just kind of went,
right.
Yeah,
Amazing.
Yanufa at the Met with Leonie Riesnick and Benyachkova. I mean,
Holy moly, people.
all right, where are we now?
Oh,
What is something you figured out about yourself this past year? I think we just said that, did we not?
what?
Like, I've done a lot, and I'm really fortunate. We both are.
Hmm.
So,
For me, I realized this was a big one because this really just happened in the last couple months because I couldn't figure out what was really bothering me.
mhm.
And there has been a lot of pride in the fact that I have had a career and financially supported myself by doing something that I love, but that I have financially supported myself.
Yep.
So with a year of not working and trying to figure out how to work, because that is part of my identity. When we did an interview with Christian Van Horn and he said my identity is wrapped up in a singer, my identity isn't wrapped up in that. My identity is wrapped up in that I'm a female and that I can support myself and that I can buy my house and that I have great pride in that. And
Mhm.
so this has been that's what I've learned about myself, that I need that. I need to know that I can support myself no matter what.
Yep. And you're getting there.
Yep,
And it's
figuring
good.
it out.
I also learned that I'm good at communicating besides just singing. And I think you are too, Keri. I think we found another avenue with the Screaming Divas of how to communicate. And
Mhm.
God knows we didn't know that we would be okay at this, that we don't suck 100%.
Just just a little bit. Okay.
We
um,
already had that one, right?
yeah.
Is there anyone else you would want to who would be the number one person you would want to interview, Keri?
Like period, like an opera world or period?
Just in period. Like who if you could like go, yeah, you.
Oh my gosh, like that's enormous. Honestly, I think I'd like to interview every religious icon. I don't even know if icon's the right word. I want to interview Jesus, Buddha, Allah,
Mother Teresa.
huh? Mother
Mother
Teresa.
Teresa.
Like I would really love to talk to these people. Singing world, I mean, I don't know, there's so many people, oh my gosh, like composers. I'd love to talk to some of them. I mean, there's so many singers, conductors. I couldn't decide. That would kill me.
I don't know. It's just there's so many people. Gandhi, you're right. Like, oof,
I
I'd
mean,
love to talk to him.
I got some questions, people.
I got some questions. You know what? I would love to. Barbara Walters would be a really interesting one for me.
Yeah,
I don't.
yeah, yeah,
The Queen. I'd love to. Maybe that's because of all the Tudor stuff, but
yeah, right.
I want to know what goes on behind those doors.
Yeah. Hmm.
Just yeah. And Barbara Walters, I want to know some of the stuff. Jane Fonda, I think her life has been really interesting.
Wow.
It
Yeah,
would be a fascinating
yeah,
interview.
totally fascinating.
Okay. This is a very good question. Interesting question from Monse. Why do we know why our parents named us Keri and Sondra?
Hmm.
And if we could change our names, what would it be? Why were you called Keri?
I hope I get this right, Mom. My mom wanted, I think she just loved the name, but she wanted a very Southern spelling of it. And a little bit different. And yeah, no, I would not change my name. I love my name. I actually added my husband's name onto my name because I loved it. I mean, I love my name is Keri Elizabeth Alcama and I love it.
Well, now you just ruined my rapid fire question.
Oh,
I didn't know what your middle name was.
Elizabeth. It was my grandmother's middle name.
Oh,
And I was the first granddaughter. So there was a very special relationship there.
oh, that's nice.
Mhm.
My name. Do I know why my mother called me Sandra? Oh, wait. I'm not. I wasn't born Sondra. Keri knows it. I was born Sandra. Sandra. And it's like that. Sandra.
Mhm.
And I don't know why she called me that. I think there was an actress, and it wasn't Sandra D,
Yeah.
because my name is Sandra D. She gave my middle name D because Radvanovsky was so long, and she wanted to save me writing out.
All of that.
Would I change my name? Yes, because I did. I changed it to Sondra, and I almost changed it to Alexandra
Mm.
because um, a conductor, Marisa Bravanel, when I was at the Tanglewood Music Center, I actually for a while was Sandy. What I was thinking, I don't know. With a Y, Sandy with a Y. And he said, I'm sorry, but you're going to have a big career and you cannot be Sandy. So what do you want to change it to? And he wanted me to be Alexandra. And I was like, no,
Mm.
Alexandra Radvanovsky's like, I'm going to sign an autographs for 40 hours.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's why I said, how about just Sondra? So that's it. But I wouldn't change it to anything else.
Do you remember the days though that they would talk to us about our names because it was more beneficial for us to have European sounding names?
Yep.
They came at me with that, and I was like,
Yeah.
wasn't for me.
Well, no, I mean, people for my whole career have thought that I've made up my last name to make it sound more European.
But
Um,
no, you were born with that.
that's my name.
I
The
actually really love to hear my name said in every different accent, every different,
Keri,
it-
Keri.
mhm, I love it.
The Italians are the best. Keri. Okay. Ooh, what smell brings back memories, Keri?
Oh gosh, so many.
Well, that just makes me sad.
I know, right? Talking about my grandmother. I have a bottle of her perfume. Still
Mm.
smells like her. Um, Patchouli oil makes me think of my sister.
Hmm.
Yeah, lots of different smells bring back different things. Some bad smells too, man.
I
Don't
was just going to
work.
say poopery makes me think of Keri.
Listen,
Keri
girl,
gave me
too.
poopery once when she was staying in the new apartment with me in New York. And she's like, girl, we're going to stay friends. Use this. It was good.
Mhm, mhm.
I I have to say, Brute by Fabergé reminds me of my dad because he got
Oh,
it. That was what my dad used.
that's cool.
I am very Midwest. Yeah. That and lilacs.
Oh,
My mother loved lilacs. Well, she loves them. Sorry, she's not dead. She wouldn't remember that she loves lilacs. Yeah, we had a lilac tree. Um, I don't know. These are like so many of these. Bleh. Do you have any recurring dreams or nightmares? That's like, that's kind of
yep,
weird.
yep. Had it last night. Had it last night.
I don't know this about you. What is that?
Where I walked on stage, I was ready to go. I opened my mouth. I don't know what I'm singing. I don't know what's happening. And it's panic. It's sheer
Right.
panic.
Yeah.
Mhm. I don't know
I
why. What is that?
because we're always so organized. We always have our poop in a group, and we're always the most. You know, we arrive knowing our stuff.
Mhm.
I don't know. Maybe that's our biggest fear is that we won't.
Maybe.
My dream or nightmare I have is falling through a sieve, and I'm sure Freud would just have a field day with that. Yeah, I'm falling, and I always wake up right before I go through the sieve.
Okay. Weird that it's a sieve.
It's like a big strainer, and like,
Yeah.
and it's like,
There she went.
Freud dream car, Carrie.
Honestly, for me, and this is really like a bone of contention with my husband and myself, I could really give a crap as long as it moves and it gets me where I'm going and it doesn't break down. I can't handle that. As long as it moves. Now, my husband, on the other hand, also, I will do whatever I want in that car. I will eat, I will drink, I will whatever. My husband loses his business. Like he is so mellow, but when he knows I've eaten in that car, it is like,
Yeah.
so it's
Third
really
World
funny
War.
when I try to hide it.
Don't, just don't. I mean, we married the same man in that sense. Like, seriously, when I say to my husband, "Oh, can I just go? I'm just kind of hungry. Can I?" And okay, guilty pleasures. You guys, you wanted to know that after after a performance.
Mm-hmm.
And it's late and there's no dinner afterwards. We go to the drive-through McDonald's and I get chicken McNuggets and French fries because French fries fix everything.
They
But
do.
I always said it's in the car and then I like grab the French fries and I get that on my hand from my husband, like, don't touch them. You can't eat it in the car.
He makes you drive that? Oh my gosh. No, see, I no, I don't put up with that shenanigans. I'm gonna eat in the car. I help pay for that car. I can do whatever I want in that car.
I'm with you like about cars. I mean, my husband loves cars, loves cars. That's why we have 6 of them. But my dream car, I've always wanted a Maserati.
Ooh.
But my other dream car that I always wanted was an Alfa Romeo, and he bought it for me
Mm,
for our 10th wedding anniversary. So
that's cool.
you know what? Once again, lucky gal.
Lucky
So,
girl.
if you could instantly become an expert in something, Keri, what would it be?
Anything that has to do with software.
Real estate.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, something that's useful. Like software is useful. I could do anything with that. So yeah. Hmm.
Stock market. I think I'd love to be able to know more about that, but you know what? We're singers and math is the other side of the brain. So that will never, ever happen. This is going on too long, Keri. We need to shut up now, don't we?
We got lots of questions to ask.
I know. Oh, this is a good one though. If someone were to play you in a movie, Keri, who would you want it to be?
Meryl Streep.
Copycat. Copycat.
Or Judi Dench. I mean, these women are freaking brilliant. Oh, Viola Davis. Love her. Love her. Oh, Melissa McCarthy. I'm sorry, I love movies. Melissa McCarthy. I mean,
Natasha Richardson. I'd like her to play me.
Hmm?
Natasha Richardson, you know? Yeah, that would Vanessa Redgrave. I could go with her too.
Yeah, she's a good one.
Jane Fonda. Because I pray to God I look as good as she does at her age.
She's amazing. She's a force of nature.
Amazing. But yeah, I think right now Meryl Streep. Yeah.
Lily Tomlin.
Lily Tomlin. Boom, mic drop. Tell me a mistake you made in life. Ooh, that's a deep one. Doing Screaming Divas?
So many. I mean, yeah, what is a life without mistakes and failures? So many.
And you own it, you make it, you do it, you own it. Mistake in life, I would say for me was maybe not having children, but I had no control over it because I couldn't have children. And it was my fault, but I don't know. Mistake in life.
Wow, like it was daily.
Exactly. Why did I drink so much last night?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't know.
That's a deep one, but a big esoteric. What mistake did you make in life? You know what? I think we learn from our mistakes. So I guess I'm the eternal optimist, and I think Keri is too. I mean, we make things positive, put a positive spin on it. I am definitely a half glass full, not empty.
Yeah, for sure.
Person.
Yep.
And yeah, truth. All right.
I love these. These are awesome. These are my faves.
Okay, go for it.
Looking at your favorite roles, what is the one phrase that you'd like to corner the composer in the afterlife to find out what the F they were when they wrote it? I know you have like 10 of these.
No, I got one.
Okay.
Macbeth. The very last note he saves it for. A high D flat pianissimo. What? What? Who sings that when they're going crazy? No, thank you. Yours?
I'm sorry, Verdi in general needs to be slapped across his face for what he did to Sopranos. I mean, the approach up to what he does is rude.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's the high C and ballo for you now, isn't it?
Oh, that is just a mind fuck. I'm sorry. It's just I screwed it up. I hate it still to this day. But how he approaches things is just rude. Like, why? Did you hate women? That's what I'd like to know.
Okay. I see no patria mia.
Why? Exactly. Why? did you really hate the woman that you wrote this for? That's what I want to know.
Probably. Yeah, but yeah. Okay, there you go. What songs will always get your butt up on the dance floor? Well, I think I know this.
All right, what would you say?
Oh, I think any kind of 80s pop music basically will get your butt up. Am I wrong?
Mm-mm. Anything. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I love, like, Missy Elliott's always a no-brainer.
Hello, can you go? What's that with a low, 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 low?
That's
Yeah,
Florida. Mm-hmm.
Florida. That's I know my Keri.
Well,
Okay, but it doesn't take much to get Keri up dancing that way.
yes, I have no shame. I don't care. I will shake anything and everything wherever you want me to do it.
And I'm right there, like with 80s pop, just
Okay,
about.
I would have said like ABBA. I would have said I would have thought that you would like that would be your thing.
I love Pink.
Pink,
I
Pink.
really do like Lady Gaga. Yeah, all them. Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah, I love her.
Um, what is your biggest rehearsal room pet peeve? Oh dear.
What?
Just one?
Yeah, just one.
I
Which,
asked you. What's mine?
Mhm.
Oh, the people. Oh, well. Biggest shit. Oh, there's just so many.
Mhm.
The people who talk while you're doing this really intense scene, and they're just like, or on their fucking phones, texting, talking, not paying attention. And oftentimes it's a person that's supposed to be your cover, not Keri, because Keri was always paying attention when she was covering me in the Audible Later. But people that just really don't give a crap, and it's like, you know what? There are 5,000 other people out there that could be in your position. Do you not realize how lucky you are to be here?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's one of them. Keep going. Keri, people that sing all the time in rehearsals.
That doesn't bother me. I'm like, whatever. You can blow your voice out. I don't care. Um, I don't like when administration doesn't tell you that certain people are going to be in the room or that they're filming something or recording something and you show up and like if I'm rolling around the floor, I'm not going to be wearing my nice clothes that you're going to photograph me in, or the rehearsal skirt that I have is really kind of like a hot dang mess, but you want to take a photograph of me in
And
that.
you have your hair on the top of your head.
Exactly. Or we've been sweating all day. Like we've been working so hard. It's the last hour of the day. My makeup's down my face, my lipstick's everywhere, whatever. And you bring people like that. That is, if you want to see fire come out of my face, that's.
They did that to me at the Met, with the Deborah with the new production, and they didn't tell me. And on top of it all, they were filming a scene that we were singing, and it's like Matt Polenzani nor I had warmed up, and we're going, and it was right when when you're in a new production and you're like you're in it and you're like it was that scene where I smacked him across the face and Deborah, and we're like in that scene, and then they're like with the camera, okay, now we need you to stop, and we're gonna no go away.
Right.
That's a good question. What's one piece of advice that you would give your younger self as?
You are enough. Period. Period.
Exclamation point.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah. And trust your gut.
Always.
Don't let other people
Always.
tell you what to do. Trust what you're doing.
Mhm.
Okay. You.
Oh, one piece of
Oh,
advice.
I see a freshman in college. Oh, they're all the same. I always had the same issues.
Do you have, I like this one though. What's your one piece of advice that you would give your younger or give yourself as in late February 2020, just before the pandemic hit?
Oh, geez. Go to as many restaurants as you can. Because you're not going to be eating out for a long time.
Seriously, I would have been like, take those shoes back, girl. Take them back.
Buy toilet paper.
I had spent some serious money because I was making good money and thinking I was making good money the rest of the year that I could afford these shoes, that it wasn't. And now I look at these gorgeous shoes that I wish I could take back. They've never been worn, people. Why? Where am I going to wear them? In the woods? I don't think so.
In the woods walking the humps. You'll just chew them. They'll be like goober.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things that I would tell myself, buy toilet paper. Stock up on toilet paper.
Have stock, yeah, so have some stock of
Um, buy a ring light because, yeah, you're not going to be able to get one for 8 months. Hey, and there's one that fell off a boat in China, but
yeah.
hey,
Mhm.
you'll get it someday.
Mhm.
What's your favorite connecting airport in the US or in Europe? Ooh.
I know which ones I hate.
Yeah, let's go with that.
I mean, Atlanta is the worst thing ever. If I can
Yeah.
avoid Atlanta, I avoid Atlanta.
And in Europe, London Heathrow,
Ugh.
without a doubt, is the worst.
No, yeah, no thanks. Love Paris
Yes.
though. Love Charles de Gaulle.
Really? Yeah.
I like that, but Amsterdam, hot dang mess, people. Hot dang mess. Okay.
I hate Frankfurt too. I gotta say, it is so massive. I mean, you gotta go up and down a
Yeah,
line. Yeah.
yeah, that's true. Okay, favorite airport restaurant? Do you have one?
Yeah, it's called the Lounge. Yes, and it's the new lounge, the Hawksmoor here in
Mhm,
Toronto.
mhm.
And yes, I sound like an elitist. I'm so sorry, but it's
Oh,
really
whatever. No, if I have to go through Atlanta, I mean, I'm glad that Delta, I always fly Delta, so I'm glad they have those lounges. Seriously, I have used those showers. I mean, when you are, oh my goodness. Yeah. I'm grateful.
absolutely.
I'm
Yeah,
grateful.
I will say that to people.
Mhm.
Young, when we get back to flying, that thing in the sky that you just don't see all that often. Uh, Stick with one airline and try to get, loyalty, royalty, whatever you call it, become a member and get status with an airline because the perks that you get, and I'm sure they're going to be even more now because people aren't going to be as flying as much. Okay, almost done, Keri.
Three more people, three more.
What is your strategy when you are traveling alone and are going someplace where you do not speak the language? Ooh.
I know what I do.
Louder.
Be total American and be like, "What?" Mhm.
What? Yeah, there's something called Translate on your phone.
Yep, I have two different apps that I
Mm.
use. I also have researched the hell out of where I'm going, also restaurants. What I also know how to pronounce certain phrases, like where is the bathroom?
Yep.
And I would
Anytime you're
like
going
to,
somewhere,
mhm.
yeah. The only time I was in real big trouble was in Japan.
Okay.
When you go to a restaurant, and Christine Gerke and I were there together, and we called it point and eat.
Pick the picture. Hmm.
But that, yeah, but yeah,
And I actually research like what I want to do there. So I've already read everything and where I want to go and what I want to see. And I have travel. Sometimes I have travel books. A lot of time now they're on my iPad. So yeah, I've done that. Hmm.
Carrie's be prepared. That's
Always.
Carrie's motto. Always be prepared. All right.
This is a good one. What is your favorite way to be welcomed into a theater as a guest artist?
You know what? I'm sorry, but I like meeting the general manager first day. I want to get the feel of the theater, and I think it starts from the top down, you know?
Mhm.
So to be there and to have somebody welcome you is really, especially if it's a theater, maybe not theaters that we've been to a lot, but if it's a theater that you've never been to before, you don't know where you're going.
Right.
And to have somebody just meet you and say, "Hi, I'm Joe, and I'm going to take you to the rehearsal room, and here's your pass, and here's the schedule, and blah, blah, blah." It's just civilized.
No, it is. It makes it so much the stress of not knowing where you're going, or I mean, all that goes away when something like that. And you know what? This is gonna sound so ridiculous. I am always grateful for like a packet of information, of phone numbers, and a gift basket with like a granola bar or whatever. Like, because sometimes you get there and like what you're saying, if you didn't pack something or you don't have something and they've got a piece of chocolate and like,
Can I tell you the thing that I hate the most though when you go somewhere?
yeah.
Being picked up at the airport by a donor. I'm sorry. opera companies think that they're being really nice and kind, but 90% of the time, you've just been on a really long flight or woke up really early. You don't want to talk to anybody. And these people are usually big fans and they want to pick your brains, and you're just like, I just want to go to my hotel or my apartment and take a shower and go to bed.
I don't mind the conversation so much. I mind the driving because
Well, there's that.
I don't know. Are you going to kill me?
And also, they're usually not the youngest people, so you end up lifting your own suitcases.
I don't, I mean, look, I don't even care about that. I mean, I do care. I actually have to say sometimes, listen, I've been on the road for 3, 6 months and I need to know that there's enough room in the car. I mean, you and I both have to have that conversation with people like, we have this X amount of luggage. But, or especially when you're traveling with your significant other, they've got their luggage too. And it's usually just not one bag each. I mean, sorry, it just doesn't happen that way. So that's always an issue. But my issue was always the, am I going to die?
Am I gonna die?
Am I
Do you
going to
know where you're going?
you know where you're going, like what's, and I would just rather have a professional driver like a taxi cab driver, or it's just easier for me to do it myself than looking for someone.
Yep.
So because I prefer when I get off an airport to get from the curb into the car, I don't want to have to lug everything into a parking garage. I mean, I know that that sounds ridiculous, but it's just, it's annoying.
No, you're just exhausted. And I mean, flying nowadays is not what it was 20 years ago, you know?
No, I really appreciate that the donors want to do that and use their time and spend their time doing that. But I'd much rather meet the donors on, like you're saying, on a day
Yeah.
when, let's go.
Let's go show me something, you know?
Yeah,
Let's go sightseeing.
right.
I love that. It's not that I don't want to meet the donors, but you know, when I get out of the airport, I just want to get in an Uber. I want to get in a taxi. I just want to go to where we're going because you know, we have work on our brain
Right.
when we get off that plane.
Mhm.
Okay, last one.
Woo!
You want me to read it? You want to read it?
Oh, okay.
So, say you're doing a new production in a city new to you. What are your top priorities to set yourself up as a local for the time that you are there? Ooh, I know what Keri would say.
What?
Find the best restaurants. Restaurant, restaurant, restaurant.
Grocery store, farmers markets,
Yep.
those things. I want to know where those are.
And I would be like clothing boutique and shoe store. No, that's not true. I like good restaurants too.
Mm,
And it always seems like, I don't know about you, but it always seems like you find this hidden gem the day before you leave.
always.
Always.
Mhm.
So yeah, I try to scope that out. And I really love, we're both the same. We love exploring cities
Right.
and I love doing it on foot.
Yep.
So I love getting out there and just walking and seeing and feeling the vibe and what's different about the city than other cities. And when can we do that again, Keri?
Horrible. Yep.
I have one rapid fire for you, and it's the rapid fire that we just asked on our last. And how has your life changed in the last year, and what have you learned?
I've learned that, hmm, the biggest change for myself and for my husband is that we don't live in a city
Mm,
anymore. We lived downtown Nashville. We've always lived in cities. We love the cities. And this has been a huge change of moving outside of the city.
mm,
We're talking about moving back because I miss it a lot. I learned about the financial aspect of it, about why that's so important to me. And I learned, I don't know, I don't know. I've
yeah.
always known that the singing could end. I mean, I always knew that it could go because your voice could go with a bad sneeze, you know.
Mhm,
It's just the way it is. But I wanted the choice. This
mhm.
didn't feel like a choice. What am I trying to say? I don't know. What have I learned?
What have you learned? I think you've learned a hell of a lot. I'm sorry, Final Cut Pro.
Oh, be resourceful.
Yep.
Old dogs can learn new tricks.
And you know, you can wear a lot of hats all at once, and that's really amazing. Like how we did this, it's pretty amazing. And um how much all of you out there have written to us and said how much you've enjoyed it, and that is worth every moment of crying and frustration and anger and all of it doing this, because it's not been easy doing the Screaming Divas. It's been a huge learning curve for us and difficult at some times when I was stuck in Europe without internet for 3 months.
And difficult talking about not singing,
Yeah.
and then listening to it and editing it for hours, and it's the same emotions over and over and over again.
Yeah.
um
But listen, I think we're coming through it. I really do. I think we're getting there. I think things are changing. And if not, something's going to have to change for both of us. So I think we're at the tipping point, and I think a lot of people are at the tipping point right now. You know, this sounds like Debbie Downer, but
it's going to be interesting to see. I have a question for you, and I don't know if you want to answer this on here,
sure.
but I've been thinking about this. So
Yes, I
you,
ate my own birthday cake.
yeah. Yes, you did. I'm glad you did.
Yes, sir.
So you were able to be working again,
Mm-hmm.
even though it's not the same working.
Mm-hmm.
But you've been able to work. You've been able to do an opera.
Mm-hmm.
You've been able to do a concert. You've been able to do that. But there were a lot of bumps in the road along the way. Some you've made public and some you haven't. Knowing what you know now, would you have done it again?
Hmm. Well, that's a very, I hate you. um, boy, a big part of me says no. Um, not the first part of getting back to singing, but the second part of it, just because the last 3 months, and maybe someday we'll have to tell everybody exactly what happened to me in the last 3 months, but having my whole life stolen from my dressing room, I
Right.
think maybe up until January 22nd, I would redo.
Okay.
But from the moment that my whole life was stolen from my dressing room
Mhm.
until what now? Today is April 16th.
Mhm.
Um, it's been really hectic. And part of me wishes that I could have been down in Chicago with my mother, who is, failing quickly.
Mhm.
Was it worth all the grief and the stress and the stress? I don't know, but it made me, what do they say? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yeah, totally.
So I feel like a stronger human being because of it.
Mhm.
Do I feel like I compromised my art? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Singing for an empty theater with a microphone is not the same as singing, in a theater full of all of you out there.
Mhm.
But I mean, I'm just talking this through. I think that the overwhelming response back that I've had because of doing what I did
Mhm.
would make me do it again,
Okay.
because I think I lifted a lot of people's souls, because a lot of people were really struggling.
And you did music.
Yeah, and maybe for an hour or so, I made
Mhm.
them forget about all of the
Right.
stuff that they were going through. And yeah, so I guess, yeah, I guess I answered my question there. But for sure, I would do Screaming Divas over and over again.
Yeah. Yeah. I would too, knowing what we know.
Doing it as long as we can. So more shenanigans.
Oh
And
my
thank you
God.
all for the amazing questions. Like really, wow, so overwhelmed.
Yeah, it was super fun to see all of them and go, oh my gosh, yeah, let's answer those, even if it takes us an hour and a half.
And Keri's gonna edit this,
And
but
I will edit it down, people. Oh my
yeah.
goodness. No, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for all the fans, for all your kind words that you always send us these messages, whether they're private or public. And we love you.
We read all of them.
Yeah, we read every single one.
Every single, and it's still just Keri and me reading everything. So yeah, we haven't hired anybody because we don't have the money.
Speak the truth, girl. Speak the truth.
Well, listen, I mean, people need to know the truth, right? Like we're living day to day. So like all of you are too. So just know we send our love. And
hang in there. We're all hanging in.
Get a vaccine, please.
Vaccine, and we'll see you at the theater soon. That's our hope.
Oh, at our Screaming Divas concerts. Oh. More shenanigans to come.
More shenanigans to come.
Yeah. Love you all. Thank you for an amazing year.
Yeah.
And we will see you soon.